Hey y'all, we are back right here in the Brooks Happy Hearing House, Inside Track Girls, presented by FloTrack. I'm excited to bring you a lot of content today. We have one guest here already. We're going to bring another one a little later on and recap world records, all the things, and preview some content. First, before we get to our wonderful guest, I'm going to start with Johnny, my co-host. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm still reeling from yesterday. I mean, we're really getting into the swing of things here. And so excited to have Marta. Like, couldn't ask for a more excited guest. And then later on, looking forward to talking with Zay as well. So we brought the All-Star squad out.
Brought the All-Star squad out. Now, we're talking All-Stars. We have two-time Olympian Marta Pen Freitas joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
I love it. I like the fit. It's cute. I love the Brooks lifestyle shoes, this shirt.
I love these shoes. I've been walking lots of miles in them. Even though I'm like on my break, it feels really good to just feel comfortable and get some style.
I love it.
Yeah.
Marta, I wanted to ask you, we were talking before the show, you're not just a two-time Olympian. How many times have you represented Portugal?
I think I've represented Portugal about 15 times.
1-5.
Yeah, 1-5. It's been, it's crazy.
Go
From 2012, from junior, from World Juniors till now. Been about 15 times.
You ever get tired of it? Oh man, I gotta represent my country again.
No, it's also so cool because in Portugal doesn't have a big track scenery. So I've been to some of these meets with the same people over 10 years.
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah. What is that like? What does that feel like? I don't think either of us have had that opportunity yet to represent our country.
It's really special. I think, especially because I think track and field was my superpower, and it feels really special when you put your super suit on and you go represent your country in the world stage. Yesterday when I walked into the stadium, I got a little emotional because last time I was here was for Tokyo for the Olympics.
Right.
As an athlete, and then I walked into the stadium. It was a packed stadium yesterday, and I was walking in as a fan, and it was just, I don't know, it was really special. I feel like both things are special. I love track and field. Everybody has to love track and field. It's the greatest sport in the world. So, but no, I'm not really special being here for sure.
Yeah, how different was that to see the place filled out, sold out when the last time you were here there was nobody? That's crazy.
It was really special. I do think, I don't know, the 2021 Olympics, you're just so focused as an athlete too about what you're doing. So I don't think immediately that was my thought when I was racing. The stadium is empty.
Right.
But
good job. Take care of business.
Hearing the stadium roar yesterday, especially at the steeplechase, because Japanese was,
right.
They
do love their locals.
They do love their locals. Yeah. So that's the magic.
How about cheering for our own Josh Kerr in that 15th semi?
Was
that like?
So cool. In 2021, it was just me and him. He was cheering. He was the only guy in the stand cheering for me, and I was the only one in the stands cheering for him. It's kind of, I don't know. It feels really cool. Just really full circle moment, and just so excited, honestly, to celebrate him. Results. Track and field is about results, and it's about you don't deserve anything. You need to go earn on the day. But it's just cool to see him evolve in the top, which is so hard to do.
You two have been kind of side by side for a lot of your careers, right? With almost 10 years.
Yeah.
How have you seen him grow? I feel like in the time I've known him, he's evolved and changed too.
I think Josh is really focused on improving himself in all different areas, and he's been putting a lot of intention and getting better also, just as this other side of him of being a husband, a friend, a son, and that has been also showing at the track. I think we change, we do the same thing over and over again, but we change with those experiences, and it's important to make changes so we can keep evolving at the top.
Right.
And I think is done such a good job of being aware of himself and what he needs and who he is, and that has been really helping him to just keep evolving at the top, which is so impressive.
Yeah.
I love that. I wanna go back to you a little bit. I've read all about you. I fell in love with your story last year, and I read an article, like Johnny said, you represented your country for years, and I think last year was the first summer think 12 years that you didn't, but you found something in yourself. You were able to attend friends' weddings and all these things. So I just would love to know like your advice to athletes when it comes to like kind of running into these hard moments and figuring yourself out, but still being able to show up for your friends and your family in tough moments.
Well, that's a packed question. I think last year, when I was diagnosed with cancer, like leading to the Olympics and my Olympic prep, I did feel that was a very, even though it was just so different and hard, or like to say, challenging.
Yeah.
It wasn't difficult because of my support system, and I don't know, life is so much to give, and like as track, we always want the highlights and living the good of it, but there's so much hard work and there's so many setbacks that we also need to deal with. So I think in that way I was really fortunate because high level sports really prepared me to like face a real life problem. And that's been like, it was a very abundant year in emotions. I remember actually the day of the prelims of the 1500 was the day I went to my oncology appointment, and my doctor told me that I had to do chemo, even though I was not supposed to. And I felt there was just this huge shift into like what I was supposed to be doing and what I'm living and doing in like such a short period of time. But then coming to terms that the ideal scenario and the real scenario don't exist. The ideal scenario is you are present living the real scenario. And that's when you're living something great, like being in the world stage in a final and having a medal, or also living a hard moment, which is while you're faced with something hard and it's going to be a hard process and that requires you to be here. So I do think this last year, stopping having this shift of the ideal and the real and just really live the real moment made my life, honestly, it's been a very challenging year, but it's been a very beautiful year in so many ways. And I feel so grateful and so fortunate in so many other ways in my life that, I don't know, just, I feel like track really prepared me for this.
Yeah, I love it. I love that you're able to have like books in your home too. And I think track and field seems like it's always in the center of whatever we're doing. And I want to go a little bit more on the female empowerment side because as a girl's girl, I'm a fan. So talk to me about that. Like, what's your mission and why is that? I think it's in your bio at that too. You just talk about it all the time in your interviews, but it's in your bio too. Tell me more about that.
I think like a lot of times we live in a world that is like really focused. Like women get to play a part of it, but it's a men's world.
Yeah.
We sometimes like studies and like the way systems are made, we're treated like small men in a certain way. And that's just something that I've been like, during my career and also being a woman in this world been facing multiple times, just being seen like a small man, not as a woman that has a completely different way. Like we change every day because we have a cycle. So like, while men every day is, it's Monday and Tuesday for us, yeah. It's slightly different. So just really big on that. And another thing is just as being a woman in the sport, there's a topic that I don't think people talk about enough, which is fertility. We are powerful women and we can be fearless and we are able to break records and do incredible things. But the truth is our biology changes and our fertility is something that has been something that requires like some attention and some information. A lot of athletes struggle with post-career problems with fertility, and nowadays there's so much that we can do. And I just look forward, like not in my time, but in the future to have like a lot of structures around that and just allow athletes to don't have their fertility as an issue. Like nowadays you can freeze your eggs, and I think that's just something that it needs more attention and support from the system for athletes to be able to be a badass and a mom if that's what they want to be.
Yes. I love it. I love everything about you. You're inspiring, you're empowering, and the way you carry everything. Bravo. I love it.
Thank you.
That's Marta for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, like, you've always been such a pillar of the Brooks Beast, and I just want to commend you and appreciate you for still showing up for your team, even when you had your own struggles. And I know they did the same for you, but like even at USA's, you were calling and checking in with Coach Danny, saying, "Let me know if there's anything I can do." So you've always been such an important member of that community, and I just wanted to recognize you for continuing to show up and being you.
Thank you. They are my family. Like I moved all the way to Seattle, and worse, I dragged my husband from Portugal with me.
To rainy Seattle, I love it.
to rainy Seattle from sunny Portugal. It's home to me, and there is something so special about sharing a passion with, like your passion with people, and it's a bond. Like track and field is something so special. Like when you do that next to people, it's a bond that it's really hard to break. And I'm of course like really happy and excited about my career, but as a surprise it became this joy and excitement to live track outside of your dream and living their dreams with them. So just it's been like an incredible ride, and I'm just so proud to be a beast. And yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm proud that you're a beast too. Yeah, we will see you cheering for Josh.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Thank you, Marta.
Now I'm excited to bring on our next guest. Johnny, tell the people who's coming on after Marta.
Yeah. So next up we have Isaiah Harris, the legendary 800-meter runner. He's with us in the house. We're so excited to have him. A good friend of mine, and which is an amazing story of resilience and comeback, and I'm excited to dig into that with him. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm excited to welcome Isaiah Harris, a member of the Brooks Beast team and a 4-time Team USA member. Isaiah has an incredible story. We're so excited to have him. Isaiah, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
How is Tokyo treating you?
Tokyo is amazing. I was telling Marta, I think I could move here.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone that's here right now is saying the same thing, but it's just such a cool place. It's so orderly. It's so clean. Like the food is so good and so cheap. The 7-Elevens, of course, everyone's been eating those egg sandwiches, I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's just amazing. The culture is really, really cool. I spent a couple of days in Osaka and then Koya, and slept in a Buddhist temple for a night and got a real experience, and it was an amazing time. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess unfortunately we didn't get to see you repping Team USA this time. It was a crazy year, and I think I would love to dive into the 8 a little bit with you at some point. But what else? So you got here? You out here supporting Josh? What else are you up to?
I'm out here being a tourist, but also supporting Josh and all the other Brooks athletes that are here, and honestly just Team USA as a whole. Like you said, the 800 was crazy this year, and I thought I'd be a little more upset not making the team, but it was it's interesting for me because this year I walked away from USA's with my head held high, and I ran a PR in the final, so I know.
And let's talk about what it took to get there for you. It wasn't you had a bit of a journey, man.
Yeah, it's been like last year was probably my biggest low. Like last summer after the Olympic trials, not making the final. That was my first time not making a US final since I started running in college. So it's been a while, and it was just like a humbling experience, but also like the first time I faced with like real adversity. My Achilles had been killing me. I was trying to try to tough it out and run through it, but ultimately like there's too many good people in this sport to not be at 100%. So yeah, it was a big moment of reflection, and I really took some time to myself to think about, do I still love what I'm doing? Like, is this where I want to be? Like, should I move on? And the injury forced me to take that time off and kind of find myself and spend some time in my head. And ultimately, I think it was like super beneficial for me because I realized, yes, I still love this, and I love my teammates. I love racing. I love competing, and I want to kind of reframe my mindset and be less kind of results oriented and more just enjoy the process, enjoy traveling, enjoy those moments with the teammates, and then just really try to get the most out of myself. I think I'm a very competitive person, as we all are.
Yeah.
But it's it's very easy to compare yourself to everyone else instead of yourself. So I think the biggest thing I learned was it's me versus me, and like let's get the most out of myself. And ultimately, that allowed me to walk away from USA's content and happy because I ran the fastest I've ever run, and I felt like I've been chasing, a PR. It'd been 7 years since I ran an outdoor 800 PR, which was crazy because there was a lot of moments where I thought I was in shape, but I just didn't do it. So yeah, I was able to walk away with my head held high, and to be a part of that historic race was cool. To see Donovan back in action, I have nothing but respect for that man because same way he's been, trying to fix his Achilles for the last 3 years, and I know how hard it is, and he's handled it insanely well. He's kind of a more reserved, and he keeps to himself, and I think people might look at that, and people probably thought he was done, but the whole time he was behind the scenes working, trying to get better. So I have nothing but respect for that man because to come back and win in the best race that the U.S. has ever had is just so impressive. And I think, I'm putting my money on him to win it all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? That's your hot take?
Yeah. And then, of course, seeing Cooper do what Cooper did was just a legendary moment in the sport. And
All time.
for someone of that age to, have that type of performance at this stage is just like, give that man his money.
He's gonna keep you busy for the next few years.
Oh, he's keeping everyone busy. It's gonna be his event for a while. And then Bryce, Bryce has been the most consistent athlete, like one of the most consistent in the sport, not just the most consistent in the 800, with making teams and performing when it matters. And, I thought he didn't look his best that weekend, and he still ran 143 low, maybe 142 high. I don't remember the exact time, and made that team. And it's just like, he's a gamer, and I know how hard it is to consistently perform. So nothing but respect.
I love it. My last question might be another hot take for you. I don't know. We've had 3 days of track and field already happen. What are you most excited for? What race? And I'll let you pick a men's and women's event if you want to be nice to both.
Let's see. Well, of course, I'm excited to watch Josh. I think that will be my highlight. The men's 15 is just, the last couple of years, it's been, I think, everyone's event to watch because of how deep it's gotten. Not only are the people at the top running so fast, it's just like every single person has now risen to that level, and you're almost just like, anyone could win on the day. And like, I think that showed throughout the rounds with, Hawker not making it, and Ingebrigtsen, although he was fighting injury, but still, like, everyone knows the field is just a million times better than it's ever been. It's really cool.
As somebody that trains with Josh, what's your inside take on him as an athlete and a competitor?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I respect the hell out of Josh because, seeing his work ethic behind the scenes is so impressive. And it's one of those things like, I went to Penn State, and I had some people I looked up to there, Brandon Kidder being one of them. And like, I took a lot from him, and he kind of shaped the way I looked at the sport and the way I approached training and racing. And he was a great mentor. And then I feel like joining Brooks, it was now getting to see someone like Josh, who's like, taking kind of the next step and see his mindset and how he approaches the sport, and taking a lot of things from him. And he is very, very meticulous with everything he does. He's very detail oriented, and it's
To put it lightly.
Yeah, it's no surprise he's as good as he is. He's obviously insanely talented, but that can only get you so far. You have to, pay attention to every single detail, and he does a great job of, delegating work to take stress off his plate, but then also like doing the hard things in his day-to-day to make himself better. And small things not small things, but like he's now, like I've seen him practice the call room, because sometimes I think like you'll have like 45 minutes in the call room after you've warmed up before the race, and you might have to take a shuttle over, which I think they do here. And he'll like practice stuff like that in workouts just to make sure he's ready for Worlds. So yeah, maybe he doesn't race a lot throughout the year, but he's working his ass off in practice and simulating races consistently, which is why he can get away with not racing as much as some other people.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to write all these notes down when I make my podium picks later. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Wow.
Wow,
That was good.
that was great. I don't know if I have a favorite. They both had such cool stories to tell. I'm glad we got to have them in.
Yeah, it's nice to hear their stories, to be always people, but also hear like their perspective of Josh Kerr, what it's like to see him as a friend, as a teammate, all the things.
Yeah. I sure am excited for tomorrow. I think that 15 is going to be a lot of fun.
And we'll recap it tomorrow too. The one thing that we have to talk about that we didn't get to touch on was it was a world record, bro.
Casual.
It's casual. It's something that we've seen before, but Bobby Duplantis over 6:30.
Yeah. I mean, the electricity in that stadium when he didn't just do it easy. It was kind of as in Mondo fashion, it was an entertaining. He didn't get the first attempt, he didn't get the second attempt, and then he clutched it on that final attempt, and the place went crazy. He went crazy. I will say, Mondo is a showman. He knows how to entertain a crowd and hype them up, and he definitely did that. I was down there there's like 100 photographers like trying to get the shot. Like I was with them. We got the shot, but that was so much fun. And I'm sure there's one thing's for sure, that's not the last time we're gonna see that happen. But
Yeah.
I think what a way to close out day 3.
Yeah, and that was the most time that he's broken a record in 1 year, which is crazy.
Oh, that's an interesting fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm so excited for it today. And then we have another show tomorrow, more action all the days. We're only like, I think today is the halfway point, kind of halfway point.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us at the Brookside Parent House. Me, Johnny, Nia, Danielle. You'll see one FloTrack right back here tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that. Make sure y'all follow us on all the platforms. We will see y'all later. Bye, y'all.